sit up nice and tall. So in this class, we're going to do an arm balance. And if you have a wall that you have access to, maybe at a certain point you can either run over to your wall or you could just set up there now. So slow the breathing down and start breathing deeply. Close the eyes. So one of the best things that I ever learned from one of my teachers, Judith Lassiter, the homework was, the first day was to go home and think of somebody you're having an argument with and argue from their side. This really changed and impacted my life because I went home and I had to, there was a problem with somebody who had signed up for teacher training, and I went home and I saw from their side, because I argued from their side. And then at that point, it just totally changed the way in which conflicts arose and how I dealt with them. Because I always wanted to, I always want to see it from the other person's side. So, I think 2 years ago, the Karate Kid came out, the second piece. Like there's like a YouTube of like what happens with Daniel and Johnny now, and what are they doing now? And Daniel's like this kind of car salesman, but he's successful, and Johnny's kind of like down on his luck and whatever, and it's very interesting. The reason why I'm telling the story is because I'm wearing a shirt, on my t-shirt, and it's the Cobra Kai t-shirt. It's a sweep the leg. So anyway, but you know, whenever I wear it, I remember this modern day telling of the story of the Karate Kid. And if you're from a generation where you haven't seen the Karate Kid, check it out. It's a classic. So anyway, so in this YouTube video, they end up, Johnny, they end up going to a bar at a certain point. And Johnny's like, man, you were such a jerk to me when we were kids. And Daniel's like, what are you talking about? I was a jerk to you? You were a jerk to me. So, right from here, just extend the left leg out, curl the right leg in, and then just fold forward. So you get some stretching while I jabber away. So, Johnny sees it from his side. And then they show it from Johnny's side, and it's true. He came down, his ex-girlfriend, who he just broke up with, was flirting with this other guy, Daniel. He got a little upset. Daniel actually picked a fight with him, and then when you see, he goes through the entire movie, but from his perspective, and how it affected him. It was like life-changing. The Karate Kid changed my life. Inhale, come up, and switch the leg. But in yoga, there is a understanding that there's this thing called Maya, which is illusion, which is material energy, and we are material. I'm a material girl in the material world. Fold forward. That's a song from Madonna. Big breath in, big breath out. Just make that connection to going a little deeper. Each exhale, try and push into that space a little bit so you can feel where your body says, nope, no more, and then you wait for a response. Inhale, come up. Soles of the feet together. Hold the feet and lean forward for your Baddha Konasana. We're just connecting to our lower part of our body right now, just doing a little gentle warm-up before we start to move around a little bit more vigorously. Walk the hands out. And there's no magic in these poses. The magic is in the practice of coming to them over and over again, breathing with them, and connecting to the body and the mind. That's the magic. But the magic isn't the shape itself. Exhale, come out a little deeper, come out a little more. Now, when I start to get to a certain place in Baddha Konasana, I actually kind of tuck my tailbone a little bit, and I actively use my mind to pull down my knees. And it gives a different sensation in the pose, it gives a different feel. And just do a slight push forward of the lower belly towards the heels. Use the hands on the floor to accentuate that so you can feel the connection more. Inhale, come up, and send the legs straight out. And fold over. Big breath in. So I'm representing the Cobra Kai, which is the bad guy school. And then it says Reseda, California, which is funny because that's where it all took place. But what if the person that you were in conflict with, you actually went and you sat down with them and you genuinely said, hey, can you explain this to me from your side? Like without the pushback, without the fight, without the resistance that you give, but actually just hear it as a friend would hear it. Hey, tell me about this. And let me see this. You might just start to see it from their side. Or see that there's elements where, yes, I could see where you would think that. And then you get away from demonizing people. They're horrible, whatever. Caroline Myss wrote a great book called Anatomy of the Spirit, and in it she said, on this very subject, she would say, you come to a burning house, and if there are 4 reporters on each corner of the street, different corner of the street, they're going to have, one's going to say that it's a blazing inferno, and the other's going to say there was a small fire at so-and-so, because you're not seeing the whole picture. And what if that was how we argue? We don't see the whole picture. We see our side. One more. Bring the legs in. Now here, you can just lean forward to connect to the hips, or if you're feeling flexible, you come here and here, and then I lift up, and I go forward. So now I'm in like a double pigeon. It's like sometimes on Joe Rogan, you can listen to his podcast, and on that podcast, he'll have one person on one week arguing for a vegan diet, and then he has somebody on the next week who's arguing for a paleo or a keto diet, and they're equally convincing. And then he'll have them both on. And then they agree with probably 90% of what they're saying, And then there's just little nuanced points that they're arguing. Inhale, lift up, and then switch the leg. And then you get to some semblance of an objective truth. Come forward and connect to the hip. So we really, this whole sequence right now that we're doing is opening up the hamstrings, the adductors. Then we're working the lateral rotators of the hip right now. So we're opening up the whole lower line of the body. Let the hands come out. Inhale, lift up. Good. Now bring the arms out to your side. And make fists, and then make circles with your fists. Now, believe it or not, this alone will be a workout for your arms. If you just stay here and you just do this, just keeping your arms up in this position is challenging. Now go the other way with the wrist circles. Now push the wall so the fingers would point up, and the palms as if they were walls. So you're pushing. Try and feel a stretch through the bicep, which at first you don't feel unless you start to look for it. So seek it out. Now start to circle the arms, the wrists again, make fists. Go one way and then the other. Push with the palms again. Interlace the hands behind the back and drag the knuckles down the sacrum, open up the chest. Let the neck relax here. Inhale, lift the arms, and then bring them back down. Palms pushing against the walls as if there were walls there. Now fold left arm over right, weave it through eagle. Inhale, lift elbows forward and up. On the exhale, let the head relax down. So now you're doming out the upper part of your back, so you're feeling a stretch through the rhomboids. And I can add a little movement here to accentuate it. Now bring the arms up. Fold the right arm over the left and weave it through eagle. Inhale, lift elbows forward and up. On the exhale, let the neck relax. Side to side. Good, now bring the hands to the knees. Inhale forward, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, let the shoulders dome forward. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So you can grab the knees or the shins. I like my shins, I get better leverage there. Pick it up a little bit. Come back to the Ujjayi breathing. Simple movement. That alone is a yoga practice. But now, let's push back to downward facing dog. Now before we come to downward dog, let's do turbo dog. Let's feel this connection because we're going to be using our upper body for these arm balances. So, my hands are directly under my shoulders right now. Now they're going to come forward about 6 inches. I splay my fingers out as wide as I can get them. So it feels kind of different, but this is my base. This is a good base. Now roll the elbows towards one another, turn on the chest muscles, and then lower the forearms down and let the neck relax. So, my elbows are bent a little bit, my forearms are hovering, my fingers are splayed wide, chest muscle working on my knees, let the neck relax and hang. Now tuck the toes and just lift the knees. So my knees are bent, but I'm still working my turbo dog. Stay with the breath, 2 more breaths. On the exhale, come down to the knees. Now get that same position with the arms. Turbo dog the arms. Let the forearms hover a little bit so they're not on the floor, they're lifted. Tuck the toes, push back, straighten the legs. This is turbo dog. Breathe deep. Three more breaths. On the exhale, come down to the knees. Now from here, interlace the hands, open up the chest. So we just did the opposite of this. Turbo dog, you're kind of doming out the upper back, flexing the chest, and now we are contracting the rhomboids to bring the shoulder blades towards one another and opening the chest. Breathe deep. Good. Now, bring the forearms to the floor. Interlace the hands. Push the forearms into the floor. And if you watch my shoulders, just watch me for a moment. When I say push the forearms into the floor, that's going to activate my chest muscles. And that's what lifts my low back. So I don't push back all jammed up. So, push forearms into the floor, rock the shoulders. Let the neck relax and hang. Tuck the toes. Push back. So this is dolphin. So you're actually activating the same muscles you just did in turbo dog. Let the neck hang and relax. No tension in the neck. Three more breaths. On the exhale, come down to the knees. And push back to down dog. So now, the chest is all fired up. You're connected to where we have to be connected for arm balancing. But I want to open up the lower body too, because believe it or not, that has an important role in arm balancing. Step the left foot up in between the hands, back knee down, bring the hands down the thigh, lean in. If you want here, you can grab a hold of the side of your mat, lift up your knee, fold this over and put this back down. So now you have double mat situation for your knee. Lean in. Try and relax the facial muscles. Now connect to this muscle here, opening up, leaning in. The hand is on the thigh, but take all pressure off of the thigh. And just look to straighten the leg. Feel where it goes. Don't push too deep yet, but feel a stretch. Now lean in, Anjaneyasana. Make sure you feel this opening right here, this connection. Then connect to the back of the hamstring on the left leg. Lean in. Look to straighten the leg. Lean in. Now inhale, lift the arms up. And you'll feel it get a little deeper. That's good. Breathe. Hands down to the floor. And step back to downward facing dog. I like to do turbo dog here because it gives me a little bit more of a push. Right leg steps up in between the hands, back knee goes down, hands to the thigh, lean in. Nice deep breathing into the belly. Now the idea of looking at something from the other side is not to become a mat that people just kind of walk all over. Look to straighten the front leg. It's to be compassionate to your fellow man/woman. Lean in and oscillate through this, making sure you connect to the psoas on the lean in and making sure you connect hamstring on the Ardha Hanumanasana. And then you're more likely to find some kind of common ground to work from. That's what a mediator does. Like a mediator literally goes, okay, I see it from this side. I see it from that side too. Why don't we do this? And don't expect that you're going to feel like really great with a resolution. Usually mediators will tell you, one more time, they'll tell you, hey, if both of you walk out of here feeling mildly uncomfortable with the situation, that means that's a pretty good job. So sometimes that's the resolution. One more. Wayne Dyer has a great thing. Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Hands down to the floor. Now step back to downward facing dog. Oh wait, hold on. Lift the arms up. Hands down to the floor, step back to down dog. Ujjayi breath. Come forward to plank. Now here, lower down to the knees. Now we're going to do chaturanga on our knees. So only lower halfway and then push back up. But watch my head. My head, just come to your knees for a moment, watch me. My head is going to go forward, right? Because here, I'm not in good alignment. My shoulder is not aligned with my wrist or my elbow. So my head comes forward a bit. Now my elbows, wrist, and shoulders are in alignment. Now when I lower down, it's a different feeling. Then I push back up. Come back, push back to a child's pose, and open up the low back. Come forward to plank on the knees. Lower half. Push back up. Push back child's pose. Inhale, come forward. Halfway, push back up. The elbows don't have to be glued to the body, but we're going to move through a few of these on our own. This is recruiting all of those muscles that we're going to need later for our arm balance. Forward, tip, push. One more. Good. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Now come forward, off your knees, lower halfway and push back up. Good. Down dog. Do 3 of those. Come forward, push up, down dog, forward, push up, down dog. Forward, lower down, all the way to the knees, all the way to the belly. Inhale up for 5 cobras. Inhale, up. Exhale, come forward and down. Inhale, up. Push the pelvis into the ground. Drag lower rib cage forward, come down flat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 2 more. Hands under the shoulders, push up and then down dog. Bend the knees, butt to the heels. Hop up in between. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale to chest. We're going to do some rounds of A right now. So inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bring the hands to the floor. Now bend the knees. You're going to hop or step back to plank. Lower down. Inhale up for your back bend of choice. Then push back to down dog. If you want to push, you go turbo dog. Bend the knees. Hop up in between. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Hands to the mat. Bend the knees. Hop to chaturanga or step to plank. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Bend the knees. Hop up in between the hands. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, chest. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway up. Hands to the mat, bend the knees, hop to chaturanga or step to plank. Inhale, upward. Exhale to downward. Bend the knees, hop up. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hands to chest. Inhale, come to chair. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale up halfway, draw shoulders back. Hands to the mat, hop to chaturanga or step to plank. Inhale, upward. Exhale to downward dog. Left foot right next to the left thumb, warrior one. Hands down to the floor, plank pose. Lower half. Inhale, upward. Exhale to downward. Right foot, right thumb, back heel down, warrior one. Hands down to the floor. Plank. Halfway. Inhale upward. Exhale downward. Bend the knees and hop up in between the hands. Inhale, hat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come right to chair. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half. Hands to the mat. Hop to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Left foot, left thumb. Warrior one. Hands down. Plank. Halfway. Inhale, upward. Exhale, downward. Right foot, right thumb. Warrior one. Hands down. Plank. Halfway. Upward and downward. One more round. Hop up in between. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Come right to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale up halfway. Hands to the mat. Hop to Chaturanga. Inhale upward. Exhale to down. Left foot warrior one. Lift. Hands down. Plank. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Right foot, right thumb. Warrior one. Hands down. Plank. Lower half. Inhale. Exhale down. Find turbo dog if you can. Let the neck relax. Come down to the knees. Good. Now, we're going to use the wall down. So if you're new to crow, before we start the wall, let's all get on the same page. So, bring your hands to the floor in front of you. Get really, really wide. So you have the fingers spread as far as they can from one another. Now come to like a Malasana, but you have your hands there. My knees are hugging my triceps. Usually, a more advanced version would be my knees are in my armpits. So here I'm hugging. Bend the arms to Chaturanga. And then just feel that. Feel that there's a connection from your thighs to your legs, and maybe you can just float. This is the beginning, right? And then come back down. We're going to do that 10 times. We're not going to attach too much to it. I'm just going to lean forward, feel my feet leave the floor and come back down. But my arms are Chaturanga. Even if I'm really great at crow, just practice this. Up and down. Don't attach to that you're so great with crow that you want to do it. Just forward, let it go. Back down. 5 more. Okay. Now, move your tush, your tuchus, close to the wall. Yeah, I know a little Yiddish. Okay, so I'm here. I have the same posture going on. I want to get my butt as close to the wall as I can. Actually lift your tush up and then scooch back closer. So now what happens is my butt is closer to being over my shoulders. My hips are closer to over my shoulders. Now lean forward.
and I get my crow, but I put my one foot on the wall. Now I put the other foot. Come down. We're going to try it again. It gives a different feel for your crow to put your feet on the wall. So it's not your normal crow. Let's do it again. Find this position, right? You're in your kind of modified Malasana. Fingers are wide, so you got good base. Lift the butt up. Come forward. And now I'm in 50-50. 50 in my hands, 50 in my feet. And I put one foot on the wall. Then the other one. Let the neck relax if you can. On the exhale, come down. Malasana. We're going to do it one more time. Even if you can get one foot on the wall, that's a win. Come back to it. Malasana, legs hugging. Lift the butt up a little bit. Come forward into my hands. Now I'm 50-50. 50 in my feet, 50 in my hands. Lift one foot, put it on the wall. Maybe the other one. On the exhale, come down. Take your Malasana. So we're going to do one more arm balance, Kodanyasana 2. A little more challenging, but there's going to be something here for everybody. So don't worry if you're not, if you can't do this one. It takes a little bit of time. If you can do Chaturanga, you can do pretty much all the arm balances. If you can do Chaturanga off your knees, you're good to go. So, step the left foot up, just outside of the left hand. So we're almost like in a lizard. Now from here, I need to practice shifting the weight to my right hand. So my left foot is up over here, and I'm practicing just leaning. So just practice that, this weight shift. Because that's what has to happen, is I have to shift my weight over. Now I have to shift my weight over and bend my arm. Push up. See, I'm bending my right arm. And I push up. One more. Good. Now step back, and we'll do the other side. So the right leg steps outside of the right hand. Here, I'm going to just practice. I lean onto my left. Now at first it can be straight. So I'm feeling this connection. Now I can start to bend my elbow. And I push back. So it's almost like a one-arm Chaturanga. Good, step back. Now if you remember before, when we were doing our Chaturanga on our knees, and I said your head has to come forward, right? We're going to see that again. Left foot steps outside of the left hand. Now, I start to walk this foot out on an angle. Left, right, left corner of my mat. That's where I want to go. Now I'm going to lean into this right arm, and my left leg gets light. And my head goes forward. If my head goes forward, my back leg lifts. Okay? Let's try it again. My left foot is outside of my left hand. I'm practicing shifting my weight to the right. Now it has to go to the right and my head has to go forward. As I do this, my left leg is going to go light. And I lean. This elbow glues to my belly. So I kind of bring it in a little bit, so it's like a post. It's like I have a little man under me, and he's holding me up with a post. Okay, this crazy little man under me, holding me up. Woo! Just like that. Now lift. The head comes forward and the back leg is light. Let's try the other side. Right leg steps outside of the right hand. Breathe deep. Practice. And if you can't do these yet, it's just a matter of time. And you just shift back to center. Shift to the left. Back to the center. Now, I'm just going to keep doing this on this side. But if you want, you're going to bend and have this elbow come in a little bit to support your torso. And then if you want to let that leg fly, let the head come forward and the leg will get light. Okay. Let's come back to our seated posture. And just tune into the body for a moment. And just feel what all those postures did. What I really would love is for you to let go of any conception that you need to be good at yoga, you need to be able to do these kind of things. It's so sad to me when I see yoga teachers who feel less than because they can't do this arm balance or that handstand or something. That is so not the purpose. Breathe. Push you out of your comfort zone? Definitely the purpose. Make you stressed out and force yourself to hold your breath so then you have to remember to breathe? Definitely. That's what arm balancing is about. Goal setting, reaching something, practicing something, that's a great thing of arm balancing that it does. Self-deprecating and thinking you're not good at yoga, that has no place here. Good. We're going to end just like we started. Extend the left leg out, curl the right leg in. Fold forward. There's nowhere in any of the yogic texts where it talks about like requirements for practicing yoga of being good at any of the postures really. Even in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, where you do see the beginnings of arm balancing. It's an arm balance we typically don't do, but it's where you kind of hop around in chaturanga. But it's even in that they don't really. It's not a requirement. That's just one piece of it. My teacher Raghunath has a great way of saying this. He says the asana is a condiment. It's not the meal. The asana is ketchup. It's mustard, soy sauce. It makes something, gives, French fries with ketchup, oh my goodness, so good, right? It's like, but it's not a meal. You would never eat just ketchup. That would be disgusting. Probably give you a bellyache. Switch the legs. Right leg out, left leg in. So why would you just do asana? From a traditional sense, if you just want to work out, sure. But there's more here than just a workout. Breathe deep. And you can feel the difference. I really like revisiting what we started with, because I can feel such a difference in my body in the way it's responding to what I'm asking of it because of the practice that we did. Inhale, lift up. Soles of the feet come together. Breathe deep. And fold forward. Inhale, lift up. And then send both legs straight out in front of you. Interlace the hands behind your back. Open up the chest. And then look to fold forward with your chin moving towards your big toe. Release that and let the hands fall around the lower leg, framing below the knee. Inhaling, lifting up. Exhaling, folding. Inhale, come up. Step the right foot over the left. Hug with the left arm. Right hand goes behind you. Activate the toes here. Spread them. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, twist. And send the right leg out. Step the left leg over. Hug right arm around the left. Left hand behind you. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. And release that. Take any last pose you like. And come on to your back. For Shavasana or your last pose. Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Jai Shri Ram Ram Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram Ram Ram, Jai Shri Ram. Jai
Shri Ram 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 Jai Shri Ram Jai Shri Ram 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 Jai Shri Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Jai Shri Ram 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 Jai Shri Ram Jai Shri Ram 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 Jai Shri Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Sita Ram Slowly come back to the body and feeling the shift and what has happened through the practice. You can join me for a little kirtan if you like. It's just Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram Ram Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram Ram Ram. Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram Ram Ram.
Namaste. If you are on YouTube, or even if you're on Instagram right now, if you could go to YouTube at some point during the day and hit subscribe, it helps us with our visibility and content and all that good stuff. So I would so appreciate it if you would hit subscribe on YouTube, and then maybe hit the bell too, so you get the updates when new stuff comes out. If you're in a position to donate, please do so. Keeps us going, and thank you so much. So this weekend is going to be super awesome because Sandra Loring is going to, she's one of my teachers. I did my 500-hour training with her, and she's going to do a workshop here via Zoom. So I'm going to put that up today, and it's going to be a great day. So, see y'all later.